right, so this series is a real book series, and we're going to go through every tune on the real book. And this is for beginner jazz pianists, not beginner pianist, but beginner jazz pianist. So I'm assuming you already know all of your major and minor scales, which includes the natural minor, harmonic minor, and your melodic minor. And I'm also assuming that you also know every diatonic chord within every major and minor key, and also including augmented chords and all diminished chords amongst the major and minor chords. But this series is going to focus on basic fundamental jazz piano tips, chords, whatever the case may be. And throughout each video, I will throw in a little challenge, whether it be rootless voicings, or maybe we might do inversions, or whatever the case may be, doing scales over it. I want us to learn the fundamentals guide to help. All right, so African Flower is broken down into 4 sections. The first 2 sections are blueses, with only the 5 chord being different, which is going to be in the first section. The 5 chord is a B flat minor 7 flat 5, but in the second section, the B flat minor 7 is the 5th chord. And matter of fact, let me just pull my book down here so you can see what I'm talking about. So yes, from here to here, where we see these double brackets. So for example, I'm going to be giving you vocabulary words also in this series. So make sure you have a pen and pencil, or actually I should say paper and pencil, or your laptop or whatever, so that you can start taking notes. So we notice that in this chart, we have these bar lines. Whenever you see a line that is a bar line, we have regular single bar lines and we have double bar lines. Double bar lines usually indicate that it's the beginning of a new section and the end of a section. So once again, I said that there's 4 sections here. As I look over here, I see, well, it doesn't start here, but we have 1 bracket, 2, and 3. And obviously this starts the tune. So first section, second section, third section, and 4th section. Another vocabulary word we want to write down is stanzas. Each line of music is its own stanza, which we probably know in poetry, or if you ever read books, you see these things. First stanza, second stanza, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth stanza. We also want to make sure we have understanding of measures. Measures are divided by bar lines. So in here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 measures. 4, whatever, right? And this is going to help because as I'm going on this series, I might say, all right, let's go to the third stanza, second measure. Oh, third stanza, second measures, rather than me trying to say, go to the B flat 7. It's like, wait, which one, right? So learn that as well. Yeah, so the key of this song is in the key of E flat minor 7. The way we are able to understand what key we're in is 1, by the key signature. So when we look at the key signature, we see we have 6 flats. 6 flats is usually in G flat major or E flat minor. Another indication is usually either the song might start on a 1 chord, or sometimes it could end on a 1 chord. And we see here, not only does the song start on a 1 chord, which is E flat minor 7, it ends on a 1 chord, which is E flat minor 7. Okay, so I think that's all I want to say about this tune so far. It is written by Duke Ellington, one of my favorite jazz composers and pianists of all time, right there with Thelonious Monk and McCoy Tyner, and we can't forget about Errol Garner. This is a medium Latin tune, and it is the first song in the real book, African Flower, Duke Ellington. Okay, so we're going to go over the first section. In the first section, we're just going to go over the chords, right? Remember, it's a blues, okay? In a blues format, it's going to be 1, 4, 5 of a basic blues format, and it's usually consisted of 12 bars. And so yeah, let's get into it. So the E flat minor 7 chord is going to be E flat, G flat, B flat, and D flat. That's the first chord, and it holds for 4 measures. Going to the second chord in the second stanza, A flat, it's A flat minor 7, A flat, C flat, E flat, and G flat. The third chord in the second stanza, G flat, B double flat, D flat, and F flat. Okay, then we go back to the 1 chord again on the second stanza, and that's going to be E flat minor 7. All right, moving on to the third stanza, B flat minor 7 flat 5, B flat, D flat, F flat, and A flat. All right, The next chord is going to end on an E flat minor 7. E flat, G flat, B flat, and D flat. Okay, so those are all the chords. Please write them down. That's all the first chords for the first section. Now we're going to go over the melody. Starting back at the first stanza, first paragraph. We have the notes A flat, B flat, A flat, B flat, A flat, and that takes for the first two measures. Then starting on the third measure, we have G flat, A flat, G flat, A flat, G flat. Okay, moving on to the third stanza, the notes for the melody is going to be F flat, G flat, F flat, G flat, F flat, and that melody holds over the chords A flat minor 7 and G flat minor 7. Moving on to the last melody and the second stanza, E flat, F natural, E flat, F natural, E flat. Moving on to the third stanza, E flat, G flat, E flat, G flat, E flat. Then when we go to the second measure in the third stanza, it holds for a little bit, and then we go E flat, G flat, then we jump up to D flat, and then we go to C flat. I'll do that again. E flat, G flat, D flat, C flat. And then we end this section with G flat, A flat, G flat, A flat, E flat. I recommend, if you have the sheet music or maybe you have a chart you written out, that you write the notes under it if you aren't familiar with it, or you just write the notes down, on a piece of paper. And so now to put this whole session together, this is what it sounds like. That is the first section. Moving on to the second section, and we know it's the second section because of the double brackets that is next to the E flat minor 7 chord. All right, so I'm not going to go over the chords for this because we went over it already. I am going to, however, show you the new chord in the second section, which is the B flat minor 7, which is the 5 chord, which is on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The sixth stanza, first measure, B flat minor 7. We see it is a difference from the chord in the third stanza, first measure, B flat minor 7, flat 5. They have the first part that starts the same, but they don't have the flat 5 in the second chord in the second section. So that new chord is going to be B flat, D flat, F natural, and A flat. So there's only one note that makes it different. Okay. All right, so now let's go over the melody notes for this one. So I'm going to use terms such as sequence and a sequence, and then I'm going to use brackets. So the sequence is going to be the entire melody section. Each little part is going to be the sequence, but the brackets is going to be each section within the notes. So the when I say, okay, here's the first sequence, E flat minor 7. The first bracket is going to be A flat and D flat. The second bracket is going to be B flat and G flat. Okay, so we go from A flat, D flat to B flat, G flat, and it alternates, and it sounds like this, ending on the A flat and the D flat. Okay, moving to the next sequence, in measure 3 in the fourth stanza, we have G flat, B flat. The next bracket is A flat and E flat, and it alternates between those two. Sounds like this. Okay, moving on to the fifth stanza over the A flat minor 7 chord, we have an A natural in the melody for the first bracket and an E flat. All right, A natural, E flat. Then it goes to D flat and G flat here, and it sounds like this. And then when we get to that part right there, we have a new note that comes in within that measure, and it goes to B flat. So I play that one more time for you slowly over the A flat minor 7 chord in the 5th stanza, first measure. Our next note sequence is going to be A flat to E flat, and then D flat to G flat. All right, and that's in the 2nd measure in the 5th stanza, and it sounds like this. Oh, sorry, that is not right. It sounds like this: 1 and 2 and 4. One more time. Here it is. Then we go to the E flat minor 7 chord. In the first, in that sequence, the bracket is going to be F, B flat. The 2nd bracket is going to be D flat to E flat. So it sounds like this. Oh, I did that one more time. From F to B flat to G flat and E flat, and it sounds like this. One more time. Then we're going to go to the next sequence over the B flat minor 7, F, B flat, A, E flat. First bracket, F, B flat. 2nd bracket, A flat, E flat. And it sounds like this. All right. And then in the last bracket, it's the same thing that we just did. So I'm not going to go over to the notes, but I'll play it for you. And that's over the E flat minor 7 chord in the 6th bracket, 3rd and 4th measure. Now we get to the 3rd section, and it's now just chords hold out for 8 beats. And it sounds like this. We have it in our left hand. We're going to do G flat and D flat. All right. In our right hand, we're going to do G flat, B flat, D flat, and F. All right. This is G flat major 7, and we're just going to go. That's all we're going to do. The next chord is going to be B and, it's going to be C flat. Oh, no. We're going to read it like this. Sorry. It's going to be B and F sharp. And your right hand is going to be B, D sharp, F sharp, and B flat. Or I'm sorry, A. Yeah, A. So B, F sharp, B, D sharp, F sharp, A. Then we're going to go back to our G flat major 7 chord, which I already went over. And then the next chord is going to be a G flat 7. And that sounds like this. Left hand, G flat, D flat. Right hand, G flat, B flat, D flat, and F flat. Sounds like this. All right. That's the 3rd section. And together it sounds like this. All right, so now this is the last and final section of this song. And with that being said, we're going to start on that A flat 7 chord, which consists of A flat, C natural, E flat, and G flat. Then the next chord in the next measure is going to be A flat minor 7, which consists of A flat, C minor or C flat, E flat, and G flat. Then we're going to go to a G flat minor 7, which consists of G flat, B flat, B double flat, D flat, and F flat. Then we're going to go to E flat minor 7, which we kind of already went over, but I'll go over it again. E flat, G flat, B flat, D flat. Now moving on to the 9th stanza, we start on that D minor 7 chord, which was going to be a D, F, A, and C. Then we're going to go to a B flat 7, flat 5, which is going to be B flat, D, F flat, and A flat. After that, we're going to go and end the song on the E flat minor set, which holds over for 2 measures: E flat, G flat, B flat, and D flat. Now we're going to go over the melody, going back to the 8th stanza over the A flat minor 7. is going to be G flat. We go up an octave to the next G flat. Then we go to a C. That sounds like this. 1, 2. Then we're going to go to the next measure, and it starts on the A natural. Goes up to a G flat. Sounds like this. 1. Then we go to a G flat minor 7. Starts on a C flat to an A flat. Sounds like this. 1. Then we go to the E flat minor 7, which starts on the D flat, goes to a B flat, and then it goes to a C natural. Sounds like this. All right. Then in the last stanza, which is the ninth stanza, we start on the octave C above the line. Then we go to a B natural to an A natural. Sounds like this. All right. Then this next measure in the ninth stanza, we start on the A flat, go to a G flat, then go to an F flat. Sounds like this. All right. Then in the last measure, we hold on the E flat, and it holds out for 2 measures, and together that sounds like this. And that is the entire song, guys. So once again, this is an analyzation, not necessarily a tutorial. So moving forward, the videos will not always be note by note, chord by chord. Sometimes we'll just go over thirds and sevens, or just different ways to practice the material and how to approach it. But I really hope you like this lesson, and let's continue on with the next song. Is going to be Afro Blue.